Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. This is the Lockwood 225 padlock, taking an LW3 key, and as you can see in the front there, made in Australia. So for a lot of people around the world, they might have a different version of this. They might not have even seen this padlock. So I thought I'd do this. Now, this padlock here is rekeyable, yes, technically, but the one thing that makes it sort of impossible to rekey is the way that the lock is constructed. So the way it's put together is different to a lot of other padlocks. A lot of other padlocks, you have chambers up the top which are resealable and then linished down, or they've got a removable core which you can remove the screw, take it out from the side, or there'd be some sort of retaining pin along the body or something along those lines. This one here, you actually have to remove the faceplate. This faceplate is hammered in, it's made of die cast, and it kind of expands, and there's a very, very tight press fit on this plate here. So once it's in there, you're not going to get it out. The only way to get it out, well, most of the time, is by actually, destructive methods of actually drilling, prizing, things like that. So let's see what's involved in getting the faceplate off now so we can see what's inside the lock. Here we have it, and as you just saw how much effort it took for me to get this open, I did try prizing it around the circumference here, and all I was doing was just damaging the finish. So if you're doing that on a customer's lock, it's just going to end up looking half-eaten. I ended up having to put a couple of holes in to prize it out, and once it's prized out, you can see how it's consisting of. You've got two retaining pins, and you've also got this ramp that comes up along here. If you can see that, see the ramp? You can see it a bit more on an angle. So when that goes back in, that would sit like so, and when this cylinder is turned, it will get in contact with that ramp. So I don't know if there is an easier way to get these apart. I've never known of it, and just by looking at it, this ramp, if it was a little bit lower, would allow you to get to the retainer. But from what I've seen and my experiences, there's no way to get to this retainer. If anybody knows, leave it in the comments down below. So here's our main barrel, or our plug, you could say. It's got a simple retainer on the back, so I'm just going to push that in and slide that out. And it is a good product, and it does slide out very well compared to a lot of other crusty locks. We've got our LW3 key here, so I can simply slide that in now, and I can make up my combination. And I can see the first one's going to be 2, 3, 1, 4, 1, and away we would go. As far as making a special tool to pull this retainer out, it would be good. But looking at this retainer here, let's have a look and see if that's even doable, because if it is, I'll probably make up a tool just in case I need to make a rekey one of these ever in the future. Alright, so there's our retainer. That sits in this way here. Okay, so it sits in just like that with a spring to activate it. So you would go spring and then that there. So this would be pushing out. So a lot of the time when there's a retainer down the back, what would happen is a special type of key would be able to pull it back into line so that you could withdraw from the front. All these type of locks, well, especially this one, is probably made in an era where they didn't have all those fancy type stuff. So just looking at this disc here, when it's pushed out in this downwards fashion, it's going to be kind of hard to remove it. Sorry, kind of hard to get it to depress you need it to do that. Push in. No, it's not working too well. I have to stretch the spring. And just looking at it from this perspective as well, no, I can't really see anywhere inside this design that can be done. And that's a real shame, because if it did have some sort of way of picking up this retainer, it would make it a lot easier and rekeyable. And that's why this padlock is a non-rekeyable, because you've got to kind of destruct it to get the cylinder out, and that doesn't make it too much fun. It makes it very difficult. So it is a one-time use disposable type padlock as far as no rekeying. I mean, you use it on the same key as long as you want, and don't get me wrong, you can buy it in locksmith form, assemble it to whichever key you want, and then put it back together, that being the other option. But there's just a quick look over the 225 Lockwood padlock that a lot of older locksmiths are familiar with. A lot of younger locksmiths or people coming into the trade probably haven't seen or haven't been aware of or know anything about it. Leave your comments down below, and once again, thanks for watching.